Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Moleski. This is my YouTube channel. I want to talk to you today about changing your last name, ladies, to share it with your husband, his name, not your name, and how this is still a very popular thing to do, and why I believe it's the right decision. And the reason I started thinking about this today is because of this tweet. Let's look at it. Let's look at it together. It is from Aubrey Hirsch. She's a blue check mark. I actually don't know what that means. It says, I hear everyone else say it. Like they're special in some way. I don't know. Aubrey, I bet you're wonderful. But she says, I'm sorry, but after 9 years, I can't take it anymore. If you ask me why my children that I grew in my body have my last name and not their father's, you're going to get a little speech about the patriarchy. So just get comfy. It's happening. And then her follow-up is, have you heard the good news? Women can own property now. There's literally no reason why baby naming needs to be patriarchal. Okay. So I think this is an example of like a really fat, sickly looking woman who chooses to wear a tube top. You get to know who they are. They have the freedom to show who they are, and then you can decide, do I want a very fat, sickly person who wears a tube top as my girlfriend or my wife? And you can say yes or no, and I would say no. But maybe you say yes. But if you say no, these are tools. It's freedom of speech that gives us the tool to see if someone is good for us or not. And this is a really, really great example of that, because men, you get to find out if the woman shares your values. Now, if you watch my channel and you're familiar with my values, I do believe that the man is the head of the household. I have no qualms with that. I love it. Men provide and protect. Women nurture and support, unless that's not for you. And if that's not for you and you want a woman who is a breadwinner or an equal, then this woman is going to be perfectly suited for you. But I would like you to consider, if you are the kind of man who likes the idea of having an equal partner, look again at her tweet. It says nothing about her husband except for, and not their fathers, and the patriarchy. So she's dismissing the dad, her husband, who I would say is the leader. And then the only other thing that she says about men is the patriarchy, which it sounds like she doesn't really like. She talks about my, me, my, I. My, me, my, I. That's not equality. That is the leadership. It sounds like she is proclaiming that those are her children. Now, the reason I like this as a tool is because you can see probably what kind of woman you are going to marry and spend the rest of your life with if you marry someone like this. So my question, if I was a man, would be, she automatically is not showing that she's in solidarity with a family name, the man's name. Now, the reason I believe, the reason I like that women take the man's name is because the man is taking on the burden of protection and provision, depending upon how you operate your family. But typically it is the dad who has raised the family, is the leader of the family, and then he walks his daughter down the aisle. I wonder, Aubrey, if you had your father walk you down the aisle. It doesn't matter, but to me, if you did, you are also showing that dad is giving the responsibility of his little girl to another man, and now she's going to make that family proud by raising her children with her father as the head of household. Now, if you didn't have your dad walk you down the aisle, then at least you're more in line with your thinking. And if you didn't have a dad to walk you down the aisle, then I absolutely understand where you're coming from, because you spit on the patriarchy because you never had the benefits from it in your home. In the world you did, but we won't go into that. So to me, when you take your fathers, when you take your husband's last name, you are a family unit. So my husband and our daughter, we're 3 people that have the same last name because we're a family unit. It is not a very difficult thing to go and get your papers, please, papers, your name changed. And if it's such a big deal and it's so difficult and so unfair, then again, men, look at this woman. If she's unwilling to spend $50, or probably your $50, to run the errands of doing the things to change the name, how much is she also not going to do for you, for the family, because of inconvenience, okay? So her kids in this tweet, and I believe that this type of thinking these are her kids, okay? Do you hear that, gentlemen? Her kids. So what else is hers? Is the house hers? Is the money hers? The back-breaking work that she does, whether she's a stay-at-home mother, which I bet she's not, or if she is leaving the home to go to work, she needs a day off, she's overworked, you need a day off, you're overworked, but who gets to decide how you spend that free time if you're going to spend it together? When you go on vacation, she will probably want to lead in that as well. It is her vacation. This is a very me-centric thing. I think that you could, for those of you gentlemen who are single or dating, not yet married, or who want to be married, and that's a large portion of my audience is not this man. But if you do want to be married, this is maybe like the only test question that you should ask before you ask a woman's hand in marriage. And that is if the laws were to change, where the men are the representation of the household for a vote. So whether that's the local election or the federal elections, the man represents the household. Ask your girlfriend, if you're already married, and you ask your wife, I hope she gives you the answer that you would respect and want to hear. But the question would be, would you be okay with that? And now, not in the overarching, like, what do you think the ramifications are philosophically for a society that has just the men vote? None of that. You personally, woman, girlfriend, fiance, wife, would you have any qualms with me, man, casting the vote as a representation for our family? Now, if she says no, all she is saying to you is, I don't trust you to have our family and my best interests. So I do not trust you to protect me. In that case, I would say, why would a woman who doesn't want to change her name even get married? Why? She is maintaining that it's her body and her children and her decision. There are plenty of men who are dumb enough to have sex with women without a condom, which means that a woman like this could make a baby without a man, a father, the patriarchy, the man getting in the way of the decisions. I would say, and I do not like the idea of single mothers, but fuck them. They don't need a good man like you. They are hot sauce semen girls. Just out for themselves. They are the ruler. Smash the patriarchy. All hail the matriarchy. These are the women who love Mother Nature and Mother Earth because they have pedestalized women and made society so matriarchal that they even make the planet a woman. And they don't like God the Father. They remove God the Father. It is all about women. It is women-centric. See, men are much more naturally giving, particularly with their earnings. And that's why I think men are the better breadwinners. Typically, when a man and woman both have a job, the men will pay the I've heard this so many times, and it's anecdotal, and I haven't looked up the stats. I don't care. If you disagree, then let me know. But so many times, the man will pay for all the household bills, and the women get to spend their paycheck on whatever they want. Why? Because men are so much more naturally giving. Women are not. Women don't tip as well. They're more frugal, and they're more tight with their money. And if they're going to spend it, they want to spend it on themselves. That is not a person with an equal mindset. That kind of went off into a different direction. But I'm gonna leave it because it kind of all ties together. Now, again, if you are a man that wants a woman who works and is equal, then definitely you want a woman who will answer that she would have a problem if you took away the voting rights of women and just let the men of the household represent. And that's the kind of woman that you want. But if you are not that kind of person and you do want to lead the household and you want a woman that respects that, then that would be a really good question to consider. What do you think? Are you a person that listens to me that totally disagrees with me, which I'm fine with? Do you listen to me and go, yeah, I can jam with that? And she didn't mention this. I'm going to add this to the conversation so we can all be more nuanced and develop our theories. Okay, that's it, everyone. Thank you again. My name is Jennifer Moleski. If you like this channel, you can subscribe, but you know that because you're not a ding dong. All right, be well, be well. Goodbye.